Right, St. Louis, buckle your seatbelts. We're going to school today. I'd like to say good morning. It's time for us to go to school, St. Louis. Facebook, I don't have the rights to this music. Don't shut me down, Facebook. I believe we must begin to understand that there's so much to understand, but yet we don't understand. Many of you might not necessarily understand where I'm getting ready to go. And the reason you're not going to understand is because in order to understand, you have to have the processing power in order to understand. Many of you think that your existence is based upon your physical location. That's not how it works. You're encoding everything that you taste, touch, smell, see, and hear. You're encoding it. And as a result, it's becoming formed in the fabric of space and time. It's becoming form. So in other words, you have the ability to see it, taste it, touch it, smell it. However, depending on the strength of your mind, it's going to determine where it is. In other words, if your mind is not as strong as it should be, you're not going to see it in real time. You're going to see it in the past. It's no different than the sun being 90 plus million miles away. It takes 8 minutes to hit you on Earth. One of the closest stars, Proxima Centauri, might take 4 hours. So that tells me if the light has already left the star, but it takes 4 hours to hit you, that means that you're in the past. In other words, energy equals mass at the speed of light. So that tells me if conservation of energy, cause and effect, is in control of this system, the laws of thermodynamics, that means that we are in prison. You're in the system. Laws of thermodynamics. Chaos and disorder. So in essence to what I'm saying, wherever you're going, there's probability or a chance that something may occur that's contrary to what you want to occur. And the reason that's taking place is because of the laws of thermodynamics. Entropy increases chaos and disorder. Many of you think you have free will. You don't have free will. You're literally at the beck and call of that energy in which you're traveling in, that magnetic field. It appears as if you have free will because that's how you've been raised, that you made the decision. So the decision was made before you made the decision. But yet you don't know that's the case because you think it was you that went to grandmama's house. It was that you that got that job. If that was the case, this world would be so chaotic if that was the case because everyone's making their own decisions. So as a result, based upon them making their own decision, you're dealing with straight darkness. In other words, everyone will be bumping into each other, no different than electrons. Everything's hitting off of one another, but there's a glimmer of hope, meaning if we can literally remove ourselves from the Earth magnetic field, we will be able to reverse the laws of thermodynamics and start seeing the world as it truly is. In other words, that developed mind will now begin to make the decisions. It's the mind making the decisions. If the mind is undeveloped, the entropy laws of thermodynamics will control that mind because it lacks the power to remove itself from the system. However, if that mind reaches a higher level of awareness, the prefrontal cortex, hippocampus, and the amygdala, that mind will no longer be trapped in the Earth magnetic field, and that mind literally will be controlled at absolute negative 273, and that mind is called God, which is a perfect sound, a perfect light above every light, sound above every sound. Unfortunately, we haven't reached a level of intelligence to know that this is the case. So as a result, those that are leading us, unfortunately, are illiterate and blind. But yet we don't know that they're illiterate because you too are illiterate. In other words, you hadn't reached the level of mind to know that you don't know. So subsequently, what you now know becomes the truth, even though it's the lie. An incomplete, meaning the incomplete is the lie. In other words, if it's not complete, it's a lie. We have to reach total completion where you can measure the position and the velocity of an object. And once you do, you stop time as you know time. And as a result, you'll be in the world, but you won't be of the world. I'm not at all trying to say anything derogatory about any one of you. I'm just trying to get you to understand that rulers, dictators, communist countries have ruled long enough. It's time for us to say all or nothing. It's time for us to take that mountain. It's time for us to be Alpha and Omega, first and the last, that bright and morning star. We can do this thing, Chi-Town, Alabama, Georgia, we can do it. We can do it, Florida, New York, the Bahamas, we can do it. However, if we don't wake up in this season and reach a higher level of awareness, we will continue to be traveling towards the wide gate, which leads to destruction, and the narrow gate that leads to life, not many people find. I'm one to believe that we're finding it and we're waking up. You've wakened a sleeping giant in this season of 20, as they call it, 21st century. And trust me, we can't be stopped. And the reason being is because we're not a part of the system that controls the masses. We are a part of the truth. And that truth has set us free. Oh yeah, I feel good this morning. Don't get in my way. Trust me, my grandchildren, my children, your grandchildren, your children, and you mean the world to me. Trust me, I'm smarter than you think. God bless. It's on. Showtime.